Hello? Testing? Why does it say category Baldur's Gate 3? Oh my gosh, I'm getting sick of this. Yep, surprise stream. We are... Hey, JBomb42, welcome. Hi. Yeah, surprise stream, middle of the week. This will not be normal, but at the same time, I ask you to expect streams next week as well. Yeah, I changed Twitch. It is apparently not changed. Well, now it says Wandering Village. And Twitch wonders why I don't link to them when I make my announcements. Speaking of. Gotta make quick announcements. Trying to do this a little unprepared. Let's see. So please bear with me as I set this up. Hello. So we've got a bit of a ramble on gaming, to be followed by let's see. Great. To be followed by man. To be followed by The Wandering Village, which is a little indie game that is in fact about to go out of early access into full release. So it's currently discounted. The price is going to go up after. Now would be a good time to nab it. There we go. So yeah, I have a ramble to do first, then we're playing Wandering Village, which is a game that I have been advised to get multiple times. It appears to be really well reviewed. It's a cute little indie city builder with a twist. And we do like those twists. But first, I need to admit I was wrong about something. And I'm glad that I'm wrong about it. And so we're going to admit that I'm wrong. And then we're going to go over what's happening. And why things are being done a certain way. Doom Dark Ages is foundering. It is actually having issues. Because to my utter shock, people did not just go out and pour money into a new $70 release. It would appear as though people actually are getting sick of this crap and have decided, maybe it's because of all the pushing for even more prices, that people have finally decided, price hikes, that people have finally decided, no, we've had enough not paying for $70 new games. Of course, some people have, but there's some interesting stuff going on. The Steam numbers are absolutely abysmal for what it is. But they're talking about the player numbers being huge. And there's a trick going on that we've seen before, and we're seeing the reason why And we finally have some of the proof of the reason why. I've kind of been sitting on this for a while in terms of what's actually going on with gaming and game development. And so this is what I want to talk about a little bit. Now, everyone's like, oh, they're just being greedy. That's why they keep increasing the prices. That's part of it. But what people don't realize is the how and the why of what they're executing and what the final plan is of the executives when it comes to games, not necessarily the plan of the all evil stockholders who have sort of enabled this. Don't get me wrong, the shareholders have enabled this and are the problem, but part of the problem. But what the executives are doing is taking advantage of how the system works to pad their own wallets, them and their friends. And we've now got a good comparison game of what's really going on to explain what's happening even with Doom and why what they're saying, what's really happening, and why this is actually what the executives want, even though it's going to come out that they're acting like, oh no, this is bad. So, how game development is happening in these big AAA studios is they are still expending obscene amounts of money in order to push this production, and they have a duty to shareholders to make that money back and make them money. They cut costs by allowing groups like Sweet Baby Inc. I know, just bear with me, to come in, pay them, help fund them and government grants and stuff in order to push these different political angles to get money that they don't have to return to help fund these huge productions. What a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of these groups, Sweet Baby Inc. included, are actually funded by China. SBI is funded by a Chinese shell company. This has been proven and shown, but no one wants to talk about it. Gee, I wonder why. And this is part of the end goal. This is not going where a lot of people probably think it's going. Though a few of you with the China thing might have started to figure it out. The idea is that they go through this process, they put all this money, the game has amazing visuals, but there's all these other issues with it. There's the push for profits, they increase the price of the game, the base game, in order to increase the revenue per game sold, is part of it. Where they sit down and they say, when you do a digital delivery system, the game is already something like 96% profit. It's absolutely huge what the profit is in terms of actually putting that copy, quote unquote, of the game out. And so that's all profit and or going into paying for the making of the game, but they already have sliced out parts of what's going in people's pockets. So they get to go to the shareholders and show, see, it's making this much per copy sold. Except it's not selling all that many copies relative to what they need. Instead, they have put them on Game Pass and PlayStation Network and Luna and all these other subscription services that give you access to the game without paying more for the game itself. This pads their numbers. And we saw this with Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now they have are able to go to the shareholders and say, look at all this money we've made because of this number from the Game Pass and this number from the individual sales, but they're not correlated at all. They're two different numbers, and the Game Pass is providing very little revenue, and the sales are not matching the same numbers as the Game Pass. But that's okay. That's what the executives want, because when they come out and push this, they're already getting their bonuses and their payoffs and arranging for all their partners to be able to pay this off, to be able to help push this narrative in order to get them over that finish line. Then, months later, the real numbers come out, we see the disaster, and the shareholders get mad. And the shareholders will angrily demand answers, and the executives will fire developers as a means to try to demonstrate that they are cutting costs. But in actuality, that was always their end goal, was to cut, cut, and divvy up and eliminate costs and get the shareholders mad. That is their actual goal, is to anger the shareholders. Because how it works with shareholders is the whole duty to provide a profit that's going on. Shareholders aren't going to give up their stock real quickly because they've invested a lot of money into the game company. But if you can frustrate them enough, eventually they will say, I want to get as much as I can out of this now so I can get out. And then you have what Ubisoft just did, and they sell out to another company. And now that other company, Tencent, a Chinese company, has all those IPs and can do whatever the heck it wants with it. While the shareholders got bought out and just left, even though they probably took a hit and didn't get all the money back, and the executives walk away with a fat paycheck. Just paid to get up and leave and let Tencent or whatever Chinese company take care of it. We just saw Ubisoft do exactly that. And it was treated as it was a desperation move. They didn't have a choice. It was the only way they'd get the money after the failure of Assassin's Creed Shadows. That deal was in place before Assassin's Creed Shadows. That was the plan. That's what Bethesda is aiming for with Doom. Keep watching this cycle. We're watching the beginning of it with Doom Dark Ages. We just saw it happen with Assassin's Creed Shadows. That is the goal. That is the real reason why they're jacking up prices. That is the real reason why they're acting the way they are. The shareholders will support jacking up prices because they think they're going to get millions and millions of sales at the new prices, at the new profit margin. But the goal is intentionally to damage the brand and to damage the sales and to frustrate the shareholders and get them to a point where they're willing to say, fine, sell it to China, let them buy us out. We don't want to deal with you anymore. And China, who helped fund this, remember, is all too happy to take them on and spend that money because they have a magic money printer. And because the CCP owns everything that's owned by a Chinese company. So when this happens, it is being sold to the Chinese government via this company, in this case, Ubisoft's case, Tencent. And that's that. The party now owns all these IPs and can have their slave wage labor devs in China who can't be touched by the outside influences push out these games, and people will be glad and thankful because they're going to be at $60, they're going to be at $40, they're going to go back to trying to make stuff look good and flashy instead of, oh, you can count the pores on his face. And they're going to be packed with spyware. Yeah, to be a company in China, you have to give at least 51% to the CCP. And that's what's happening. And we're seeing it in action. And the fact that people are pushing back against the price increases, thankfully, and not just continuing to buy into this. It's now going to be a race. Do people get sick of it faster than companies in China can line up the sales? Or is this going to be allowed to happen? Because if people get sick of it fast, you can outrun this system. You can force the shareholders to decide that they've had it with the execs and push them out and get new people in before they sell out to China. It is possible, but it is going to take people getting sick and pushing back harder and faster. Because if all you do is buy into the price increases, they'll just be incentivized to push farther and farther and farther until they finally reach the point where we literally can't afford to buy the games. It's like, oh, it's not that we're no longer willing, it's that at $150 for a base game, the average person just can't pay for it anymore. It's not feasible. So I was watching what's happening. I was shocked to be wrong about people deciding, no, it might be Doom, which is it's Doom. It is an unstoppable property normally, and just decide no. Some people, sure. Most people have apparently decided to either go for the pass or just watch the streamers play it. They're not doing it themselves until the price comes down. And so, like I said, I am hopeful now that this will happen more and more, and people will say, no, we can't. The executives will see that this is going down too fast. Not the executives. The shareholders will see this is going down too fast and just remove these executives trying to pull this stunt before they have a chance to make their own deals with China. And I know, conspiracy theory, this is nuts. What are you talking about? Well, in the past couple of years, the conspiracy theories have been batting a really high average, haven't they? How many things have proven to be true? And more than that, do you really think they wouldn't do this? Do you really think these greedy execs, Randy Pitchford of Gearbox just turned around and said, do you not have $80? Go look it up. He just said, do you not, just Borderlands 4, how dare you not pay me $80? This is what they're gunning for. This is what they want. Why else do you think they would be so blatant in their greed? Why else do you think they would say stuff that they know will rile up their fan base, what's left of their fan bases? I mean, I think Randy Pitchford is probably aiming to get his deal soon. Probably sooner than Bethesda is. Because we just had the flop of the Borderlands movie. Now we've got the Borderlands for $80 controversy. We just had the discovery that Borderlands had a ton of, what was it? Was it spyware? That they changed their terms of service for all of their games and like put spyware or something in them or something like that. I forget what it actually was, but we just had another controversy. I think that Randy Pitchford is probably thinking he's going to be next for just either, maybe not all of Gearbox, probably at least Borderlands, just saying, all right, I'm just going to sell it out, I'm going to take my bag of money, and I'm going to go. Why else would they be being so blatant about antagonizing the people that are supposed to be their customers? This is going to get people mad. This is going to get people not paying them money. And it means that whenever the new companies take over the properties and don't act this way, people are happy and will flock back and that makes China happy. I think we should really be watching what's happening, because I don't think anyone has really realized that that is the end goal. Selling to China isn't a move of desperation, it is the point. So that's my depressing ramble at the start of the stream. I don't think I really have... I'm trying to think if I have anything else to bring up before we move on to the game, which will be a lot happier and a lot nicer. Let me see. As a heads up, on Monday and probably Tuesday, I will have extra streams this upcoming week, thanks to the holiday. Let's see. Oh, the reason I haven't been uploading the reactions is I realized I'm going to be gone for part of June and July. Going to miss my birthday again. And so I'm going to actually be smart and save those for when I'm away to help fill in that gap. So we're going to get video uploads during that time when I'm gone. Now, that won't be for all the channels, sadly. I'm not going to do I know that some streaming sites are okay with pre-recorded and so on and so forth. I won't be able to babysit those channels at the time that I'm out, so there isn't really much of a reason to do a pre-recorded stream, which will just be a rerun of what I've done anyways, which I know some people do to help fill gaps. I don't feel like getting into it right now. Again, especially because I can't babysit my chat, and I'm not going to make my mods handle it while I'm not here. So that's why we're not seeing some of these cutout uploads. I will be saving them for that. I'll let you know once I have solid dates for that. And I think that's it for any kind of announcements and stuff. I am going to get this game. What was it? Shift, Windows, Arrow. I don't remember what the move over button is, so I hope this will let me switch to windowed and move it over. Yay! I just realized that my volume is really far down. Why is... Oh, because... That's why none of these buttons are working. The keyboard is kaput. Yep, I know. I was just trying to get that set first. Ooh. River Towns, a Tetris-inspired city builder, is now available on Steam. And you'll get an extra 10% off because you own this as part of the bundle. Ooh. I did not see that. I will have to look into that. I will look into that really quickly. Oh yeah, that's a good deal. I've played a lot of Tetris, so I may say, I'm gonna save that. That deal is available till June 2nd, it looks like. Gonna add that to cart for later. This deal ends on May 27th on the Wandering Village. Like I said, it's currently in early access, but it is about to hit live. So catch this deal if you want to pick it up before it hits live. I know, I'm a small streamer, but if I can boost them, I can. I will. So, I have not played this before, though. So this is going to be new to me. And like I said, this is The Wandering Village. And you haven't seen it yet, but this is a city builder with a unique twist. Well, you might have seen it if you were paying close attention. So, we have story mode, go on an epic journey with your Onbu and discover the source of the infestation. A great starting point with an optional tutorial. Probably going to do that one. Challenge mode and sandbox mode. We're going to do story. And we are going to play with the tutorial because I haven't played City Builders in forever, and I haven't played this game ever. So the Village Elder shows you the ropes of how to take care of your settlement. After an initially guided experience, this mode transitions seamlessly into a playthrough on relaxed difficulty. Recommended for first-time players. This is the twist. Your Onbu looks just like the old legend said they would, capable of carrying a village on its back. Its massive earthen body embodies the spirit of the earth and suggests warmth and safety. And this only affects visuals. These are locked. I think we're going to go with the dark one. And for the record, a D&D critter that I am working on, well, critters I'm working on, include an option like this. It wasn't actually inspired from this game, though when I found and got this game and saw this, it was like, okay, well, I'm just going to pull some of these elements into what I'm working on, because why wouldn't I? But I had not initially planned on it, but decided it's too good to pass up. Okay, yep.
Driven from our homes by the toxic spores, we kept wandering, looking for shelter. But not in our wildest dreams did we imagine what we would find.
Onbu Doctor can treat Onbu with unprocessed herbs, but medicine from Onbu Pharmacy is much more efficient. Build camps early on to speed up the collection of wood and stone. Build storages so your workers have places to store them. Okay. Ah, there you are. Good to see you, my friend. Through all the years we've traveled, all the hardships we've endured together, who would have thought we'd run into an Onbu of all things? It's truly amazing, isn't it, dear? We might be the first humans to have seen one in a couple hundred years. The poor thing seems exhausted and has gone back to sleep for now. I had thought that Onbu slept underground, but the poisoning of the soil must have woken it up. Wonder if it can even sustain itself up here on the surface, but if we take care of it, it might take care of us in turn. But if push comes to shove, we might have to prioritize our own well-being in order to survive. Though that is a decision that we would like to pass on to you. We may have led our people here, but I think this is a good opportunity for someone new to take over. Ease the transition. I could teach you a little of what I learned. Do to you even. Tutorial, so to say. What do you think? Tutorials that appear here will teach you everything you need to know, but if you ever want to double check something or read about it in greater detail, you can always consult the Elder's Notebook. Open it by clicking this tutorial, where the book button is top right corner, or pressing G on your keyboard. Open the Elder's Notebook. Try to survive for as long as you can. To do so, you'll have to provide your villagers with shelter and food. Research new technologies and scavenge materials from all kinds of biomes. Also, don't forget to take care of Onbu, your giant companion. If your villagers or Onbu die, it's game over. Okay, move the camera. Oh, wait, no! I didn't get to read the whole thing! No! I'm gonna have to guess. Pause the game or adjust its speed. Ooh. So I don't think you can change the angle of anything. There we go. Zoom in or out, or click the 3 large widgets in the center of the top bar to switch between the 3 different views. 4, 5, 6. Ah, okay. Okay. Place 2 wood cutting camps near trees. This will give you a steady supply of wood and clear space for new buildings. To construct buildings, open the building menu at the bottom of the screen. Press B in the keyboard. Cutting camp can be found in the resource category. Build 2 wood cutting trees. Okay. I don't think I'm going to be able to harvest anything from off the Onbu. I think we have to do it on this thing. Build. Dirt road, tent, research, your storage, berry gatherer. There's the wood cutting camps, mining, clay. Everything else is locked. Oh, thank you for giving us a what's in range level. Holy crap. There are so many games that need to do this that don't. Oh my gosh. I forgot to hold shift. Notice that no one works at the woodcutting camps yet. Currently, all of your villagers are free workers ready to perform general tasks such as construction. Select the woodcutting camps to open their detail windows, where you can assign workers to them. Assign 2 workers to each of your 2 woodcutting camps. Stone is another common construction resource. Build a mining camp next to some of the rocks in the Onbu's back. Not a lot of range to do this, but should be good enough, I think. You can already assign workers while a building is still under construction. Select the construction site. You can assign workers the same way you would as if it was already constructed. Assign 2 workers to your mining camp. All these resources will require some sort of storage. Build a material storage to store a variety of resources. Found in the storage menu category of the building menu. Yeah, I am keeping it paused to start. In order to give me some time to learn and make mistakes. Something tells me I'm going to want the storage fairly centrally located, because I'm probably going to end up building more stuff over here too. Okay. I probably picked the wrong keyboard type setup for tonight's game, but yeah. I just in general need to adjust and update my setup. Your villagers are going to need food. One sustainable way to get food is by constructing a berry gatherer near berry bushes. Berry gatherer can be found in the food category in the building menu. Build berry gatherer, assign worker. When a berry bush is harvested, have to regrow. Excuse me. Concerning question. Where are the berry bushes? That's a pile of berries. Yeah, I think we might be in trouble. I'm in trouble. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, there's one berry bush over here and I can't build close to it. Okay, there's a berry bush up here. I'm also can't build in range of it. There's a berry bush here. Oh no. I'm assuming this is a randomly generated map in terms of resources. Okay, so the berry bushes are all the way down here. I'm going to have to assume that my people can walk through all this to get here. But this is a problem. Oh, no. Okay, yeah, they can at least go through the resources. In some games they can't. Some games they can, some games they can't. So these guys can at least... Now, they're smart enough to navigate the forest instead of needing a path cut. I thought I had to work in just in here and work my way out. That is a little bit better. Oops, someone wants to talk to me. So you've noticed this strange pile of rubble as well, my friend. There seems to be something buried here. It's hard to tell what that is right now, but we might be able to learn more if we dig it up. I don't know about this. Maybe it was buried for a reason. Come on, dearie. Aren't you at least a bit curious? Who knows? It might be something that could really benefit us. This is a cute style, and I like the premise. Oh, it glows at night. Yeah, I'm gonna chalk this up to RNG and assume that the game does not start you with the same resource pattern every time. But yeah, look at how long it takes these guys to run up and down in order to heal this. Two nomads went to Sentinel on Anbu. Click here to welcome them. Getting villagers. Villagers' happiness is high enough. The village will periodically attract nomads. Once they've arrived, okay, widget top screen will light up. Accept new villagers. I mean, pretty sure a lot of people would be happy getting to live on one of these things, regardless of if there's other issues. How did they get up here? Presumably the same way we did. I'm guessing... Nope. I'm guessing we went up the tail. Okay, they are finally clearing the rubble. We've assigned most of a person to the... Oh, wait, no, that's them turned to the side. Never mind. I thought that was like going to fill up to show the people that were assigned to work there. Okay. We have some food supply, though it is questionable. I don't know what the balloon was for. I know I'm mostly sticking to 1X. I haven't played a city builder in a while now, and I would like to relax. I don't want this to be a frantic rush to manage all the buildings. Are you doing clay research? Can I do clay research? Well, we have a research building as well as tent options. However, oh, we can just gather clay, but oh, I didn't see that change. Thank you. A research builder will allow you to research new technologies, but it requires clay to construct. Build a clay gathering camp near some clay deposits. Build a clay... Okay. Okay, so I can get that in between the 4. I can't really fit that there. I can get this down here in range of 5, but then it's much farther away. I think I'm going to get this a little bit closer first and get the 5 later. For some reason I thought that was still the berry one. Berry gatherers are idle. That happens when there aren't enough berry bushes around their workplace. You can uproot wild berry bushes by selecting them from the harvest and remove function. Your berry gatherers can then plant them closer to themselves. Ooh! We can move the bushes! Oh my gosh! That's incredible! Like, you can do that in real life, obviously, but like, no game lets you do that. The most you can usually do is like plant trees nearby for gathering wood. Holy crap. Alright, do I have to select the bushes? I do. Okay. Harvest and remove. Okay, so I'm going to assume they will automatically move that within range. So are you guys gonna do it? Is someone else gonna come over here and do it? What? Well, we have now advanced to the wandering part of the wandering village. Alright, I'm gonna assume I need to free these guys up. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Someone else is finally moving the bush. Well, where are you going? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Alright, I'm just gonna do this and give people something to do. Okay, yeah, okay. So someone else has to uproot and then they will move. Cool. And clay gathering has finally happened. To build more advanced buildings, you have to research them first. Build a research building, which can be found in the village category building menu. It will only work when it is fully staffed. Construct a research building. Assign workers to your research building. Okay, I guess we just stick it like here. Oh my gosh, you take 3 people. We need more people. I say, but we have 4 people that apparently aren't doing anything. I'd call them freeloaders, but the entire village is living on this creature's back. So we are all probably freeloaders. Peoples! 2 more nomads. Which, I mean, we are technically nomads. At least now. This time it is walking. How'd they get up here? That's a very good question. I'm sure it will never be answered. That is still cool how it's bioluminescent underneath. Now that I know my people are smart enough to actually move through obstacles, I'm wondering if maybe it would have been better to like build the whole initial village down here. Okay, research air well. Now research filling, research air wells. Tea. 25 wood in this case. I have plenty. Extracts water from the air. Works better at higher humidity levels. No water is produced in deserts. I mean, this is a thing. Depending on how they say it works. They're not a great way to get water, but they work. Where's the idle worker? Oh, he's not idle. He's just found something else to do. It's like moisture farms and so, yep. Yeah, all you need is a rock, a bowl, some saran wrap, and something to suspend the saran wrap with. And you can make one. You can make a small one too, though they're not great sources of water. True, water alternatives are limited. This is probably better than nothing. Have a berry gathering range of 16 or more berry bushes. I do wish that there was a way to turn around in the angle, but I guess because of this whole thing, it is a static view angle for this particular game. Just walks out to the pile of food, grabs some, and goes back. Well, I mean, you could rotate the 2D art planes. There's plenty of games that do that. Pretty much any game that has any kind of, like Early Doom, that has any kind of sprite system is going to function like that. We are at least very well fed, if very dependent on berries. Berries are a good source of food, but your villagers appreciate variety. Cultivating crops requires water, so build an air well and assign workers to it. The air well can be found in the food category in the building menu. Construct air well, assign worker to air well. Air well's efficiency depends on current biome's humidity. Check the current humidity in the humidity display top bar. Meanwhile, water tank and farm. I assume I'm gonna need both of these. However, I pick the wrong one and it yells at me. I think I'm gonna build the air well. I mean, I guess we just pick a spot right now. Yeah, I need to assign workers to it. Or a worker to it, I guess. Yeah, I'm not going to start research until it tells me to start research. I don't want to break the tutorial. Yeah, the rubber pile's we're gonna be at this for a while. If the other nomads would get here, that would certainly speed things along. I know research is up. I'm not starting the new one until it... Oh, never mind. I take it back. I thought you meant this. Now that you have an air well, you should research farms in order to start... Yep, there we go. I'm going to start cultivating crops. Research farms using the menu. Research. Quiet you. Take a look around your village while you're waiting to research finish. There's always something to optimize. Try reassign some workers or ramp up your research production. Well, speaking of, we need to do that. And the farm is needed first. That's assigned. That's assigned. I need the new people to come because I don't have enough people. The only other thing I could do is be like, well, is to say that one of these things, take something that doesn't have stuff in range, and take from them. But I'm pretty sure I need them gathering right now. Okay, this isn't quite the type of air well that I was thinking. I was thinking of evaporative collection. This is, for all intents and purposes, a rain collector. But rain collectors are an option. I do rain collection. First, for me, my roof is the catcher. You currently don't have any free work. I just said I need the new people. Select any building, increase the amount of workers employed there to turn those workers back into free workers. Yeah, the nomads will be here in a second. I will have free workers when they get here. Thank you. Wait a minute. Oh, that's just harvest and remove. I don't think we can move the clay collectors. Yeah, until the tutorial's over, anytime I'm not actively researching something for it, I am just going to fire the researchers and have them work on other stuff. That seems to be the better option. Also, I am amused that it's assigned someone to this and they just kind of sit in that hut and watch the water all day. Change the bucket every once in a while. You're on bucket duty. There we go. Research building has nothing to do and there's no active research. See? There we go. That's exactly what the plan was. Disable it for now by selecting it and pressing the lock or F button on the keyboard. This will turn the employees back into free workers. Ready for other tasks. Disable the research building. To ensure a steady supply of food, build a farm on grass soil. Construct a farm, assign at least 2 workers to it. Grass soil is important because crops only grow there. Well, that's obvious. Have a good one, J-Bomb. Thanks for hanging out. Ooh, ooh. Uh-oh. Farm... Right, I could stick it here and it won't interfere with any of the berries that we just gathered. Putting it someplace close is going to have some issues. That's like the only open spot for the farm, I think. Just place it where it won't interfere with the bushes. Let's try that again. Because this is just berries that need to be gathered. That are sitting on the ground. So we can do that. It will have maximum space. The bushes will be gotten rid of in a second. I am absolutely certain that the person assigned to this, their only job is to is to replace the buckets. You watch the bucket, and when it's full, you put in a new bucket. Also, this critter is very much reminding me of the temples from Mune. The movie Mune. Which, the movie's story is kind of like, super predictable. The movie's visuals and mythology are great, though. What new things can I make? Water tank is just new places to store water. Store food for villagers. Pantry. Flophouse. Makeshift housing for up to 30 villagers. Right. Inhabitants are more susceptible to poison due to the cramped conditions. Ooh. Hornblower. Used to issue commands to Anbu, which it may or may not follow. Allows you to click on crossroads on the world map to decide which way to go. Which it may or may not follow. And landscaping. Learn to place some basic decorations to increase the attractiveness of adjacent homes. Here's a way to control your critter. It may not actually work. Actually, the pantry seems like it's rapidly becoming something I actually need to do. Oh, oh my god. It did. Okay, sure. Wait a minute. Alright, wait a minute. Will we be able to gather that for fertilizer? I know that that's disgusting, but that is a legitimate fertilizer option, I think. Anyways, plots. Your farm raised a flag to notify you that something is not working correctly. This is because it needs plots to plant its crops. Select the farm to open its detail window. There you'll find 2 buttons to allow you to add or remove plots. Assign plots to your farm. Buildings can raise many different kinds of warning flags. Select the building to learn more about its current flags. Right, that's just whining that the bushes aren't ready. Add a plots. Okay, well, I'll just plant around the bushes for now while we wait for everything else to be harvested and stuff. Roads can help you structure your village and offer a movement speed bonus for workers traveling on them. They can be found in the village category. Construct 10 segments of dirt road. Construct roads between buildings that use resources from each other, for example, between a farm and an air well. That's a pretty good point, actually. I am going to assume this will probably... Yeah, we may have a little bit of an issue with that plan. I don't think I can move the air well. The closest I can do is build a closer air well, which, I mean, isn't a bad plan. I mean, having 2 air wells probably isn't a bad idea anyways. In the meantime, that puts some roads between some of these resources. I don't know if trees will regrow in the spot, so I'm just getting it close. I know trees won't regrow on the dirt, so there's no point. So is this going to tell me about research, or am I just kind of going to be like... No, do the research on your own terms now. No, I still definitely need more people before we can actually do that. I'm a farmer and this is my farm. I should probably add some more plots. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to live with eliminating some of my farm plots for the road. That's probably how the game is designed. To operate. I love the little eating animation. Okay, the trees block that anyways, so finite space to do things with. When woodcutting and mining camps are more efficient, you can also manually harvest things when you need accuracy. Use the harvest tool to mark objects for harvesting. Mark at least 3 objects for harvesting. Click and drag with the harvest tool selected. Okay, well, I mean, get that tree out of the way for the road. Well, we're in a poisoned land. I noticed the masks, but we're in a poisoned land, so that kind of made sense. When you have multiple open tasks, it might make sense to prioritize some over the others. See the priority tool to assign a priority to open tasks. Prioritize any task. Yeah, gather the berries. Some vegetation, such as mushrooms and herbs, will occasionally grow in small clusters on Ambo's back, so keep an eye out and harvest them. Harvest a wild mushroom. I have not seen anything that looks mushroom-like. Never mind, there are now mushrooms. Sure. It's important to keep your villagers happy. The leftmost of the 3 gauges in the center of the top bar also provides an overview of your village current happiness. Click the happy button next to it to study in detail. Open a village happiness details. Sufficiently high happiness will lead to new villagers joining. Currently, the happiness panel shows homelessness makes many of our villagers unhappy. One way to increase your villagers' happiness is to provide them with housing by constructing tents. Construct 5 tents. I have to remember to press shift in order for the tents, in order for it to not deselect. So I will put 2 here. And I'll put 2 here. And I'll put 1 up here. Peoples! I need peoples. Now the mushrooms are spreading like mushrooms. What is it? Oh. More mushrooms! I may give up and speed it up so we get past some of this. Especially since I think the night's probably... I'm gonna start heading towards the end of the stream because we're not doing the full 4 hours tonight. If someone could pick up the mushroom and the berries, I'd appreciate it. Research. Here we go. Research Hornblower. I mean, it was an interesting TV series, but your village's survival is tied to that of Onbu, so you need to learn how to understand and work with each other. Research and build a hornblower to communicate with Onbu. Research port. Right. Which means we need to immediately eliminate all our free workers in order to do this. I realized that that did not quite sound how I meant it to sound. Okay, yeah, that definitely eliminates farm spaces. We're back to doing this because, oh my gosh. Storage is full, right. Well, I cannot at present research the better storage, so we're just gonna have to live with it. Or we could just eliminate the worker while we go through the water that we've had stored. That seems like a good plan. Where'd the mushroom go? It was harvested! Why hasn't it... I harvested the infernal mushroom! Why on earth is that not gone away? Thank you. Wait a minute, is this done? It's done. Okay, I feel like the water tank is probably something that we need to research now. I understand that we're following the tutorial, but water tank. But not dying of dehydration is nice too. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep the research team up because at this point I think we need to actually advance. Alright, water tank, pantry. Oh, is it resting? I think it's resting. It's resting. Okay. We're probably going to have to use the horn to get it moving again. Certain actions, like encountering a biome event, cause a status effects affect Envo in your village. They are displayed along with the right side of the top bar. Hover over and if you want to learn more about it. Mouse over the status effects. Light rain. Rain falls upon Envo and raises humidity. Yeah, that's what this kind of air well is actually for. Ah. Give Onbu a horn command. Lie down, walk, and run. I'm gonna stick with lie down. A more advanced builders require more advanced materials to build. Research the carpenter building, which can produce wood planks. We're gonna have to wait. I'm researching other things right now. People! Yes, we need people. We could probably de-staff this as well for now. I need you people to do useful things. Oh, the carpenter's all the way over here. Okay. I do think that's a trebuchet. Right, I do not have enough clay for the flop house. Which takes 100 clay. Okay, I thought it would be easier to make the flop house. Oh, I think we're moving again. And I think these herbs are important, so I'm going to insist on harvesting them. We are moving again. Test? What are we testing? Get glitched out from a... Okay. Holy crap, we finally cleared that. Mysterious structure, decayed, overgrown ruins. We don't know their original purpose. Structure has been severely damaged and needs to be rebuilt. Costs 30 boards and 30, I assume, stone slabs, of which I have none. Preparing this building will start the story. Once it is completed, it can't be deconstructed. Deconstructing it now will unlock its blueprint, allowing you to build it and start the story at a later time. I will, once I have the resources to do so. Hold on, wait. Did that say that I need to make something else? Now that you've unlocked the carpenter building, construct and staff it to start producing wood planks. It can be found in the refined resources building. Get that out of the way. Okay, so we gotta hit the hardy... Well, we missed one, apparently. And we gotta hit the hardy mushrooms. I don't know. I guess I'll staff this permanently. I don't know. Feeding trebuchet. On Buologist Dung Collector. How do I build... Stonemason. I'm guessing that that's the correct one for that. Oh, interesting. It appears to be an ancient structure of some kind of tower, maybe. What do you make of it, dear? Interesting indeed. In all my years, I've never seen anything quite like it. Or maybe, no, it couldn't be. Either way, it seems to be in remarkably good shape given its age. The foundations are intact, and many of the other parts look usable as well. If we can figure out how they fit together and supplant some of our own resources, we might be able to repair it. I don't know that we could stand to gain from this. Our resources are limited, and, in my opinion, better used elsewhere. But dear, isn't not knowing the exciting part? I think we should do it even if we can afford to, but either way, that isn't our decision anymore, is it? Hello and welcome! Kick chat's not working, but I'm seeing kick chat. It certainly appears to be bouncing between different chats. Oh, okay. Maybe there is an issue. Well, we're almost done for tonight. I am tired. I have work tomorrow. It is likely... Yeah, I'm thinking we're probably going to end fairly soon so I can get a good rest in. But I wanted to play this for a little bit. I wanted to do an extra stream. I wanted to give these guys a little more heads up before they go into full. Yeah, I like this. This is a nice, unique city builder. It's fun. It is creative. Wait, what the heck happened to my clay camp? Why did my clay camp self-destruct? Alright, you have a rest, big guy. Or girl. People, thank you. Oh my gosh, we need people. Yeah, this is a cute game. I like this game. Yep, we have now doubled our villages in size. It only took several weeks. Why did my camp vanish? None of my other camps have vanished. I mean, I need clay, so... Up too much to make this casual Friday game. We've got a lot of things in the pipe. Tales of Psyche also just released in full. I really need to get on talking to them about being a creator for them. Content creator for them. There's so much to do and not enough time because these are unusual extra streams. I wish I was big enough to go full time. I think for now... That might have to be it, though. I think I'm gonna call it here. Short stream. I have work tomorrow. I am tired. I do not want to caffeinate. I do not want to caffeinate more than I have to. What are you complaining about? However, I thank y'all for hanging out and showing up to this unscheduled stream. Hope you all have had fun. Hope you all have been having a good week. You be safe, and I will see you maybe tomorrow.